Rajesh.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Sir.
So before we start, just wanted your views on budget. Like, how many of you have actually followed the budget, and what is your view? Like, how this budget was? What is your general view on budget overall? Not just from your own personal point, but overall in terms of economy and all. What are your views on the budget? Can you can either share verbally or you can type it into the chat window, whichever thing works for you. I'm fine with it. Anshul says, I found it progressive. Yeah, Anshul, I agree with you. This budget was quite forward-looking budget and quite bold decisions. Quite bold decisions. I would say personally, I'm pleasantly surprised with the elements which the government has brought in. It takes a very big heart to come up with a budget of this sort, where things are not in your control, things are not really going very positive, and government trying to take up long-term push, especially with regard to the fiscal deficit, the push with regard to infrastructure. And the primary thing, if you look at the overall, uh, the base of the budget had been how to create growth, both in terms of rural and urban growth, as well as how to create more and more employment opportunities. Yeah. Anyone else want to share their views? I see about 25 plus, only Anshul sharing his view. या तो बाकी लोगों ने budget follow नहीं किया है या you don't have any opinion of yours? What does it mean? What should I take it?
Could be the latter.
Okay. Okay, Daniel Anjali says didn't follow. No issues. Okay. So are you all ready to start with the session today?
Absolutely.
Okay, after your day, अगर भाई ज़्यादा headache वेडेक हो गया हो तो चाय वाय का कप ला लो. मैंने भी अपना कप ला लिया है. Okay, because it's a working day. You had an hectic day today. Okay. So let's get rolling. So there are a lot of things in the budget. I'm not going to speak much about what are the other things in the budget. I would be primarily focusing on things are affecting as an individual. As an individual, what things affect us? I'm going to only limit this session to that extent. So people who have not known me or people who are seeing me for the first time, this is Rajesh Jain. I'm academically, I'm a commerce graduate. I have done my law from Siddhartha Law College, Vijayawada. I have practiced as an advocate. So I'm not just a qualified lawyer, but I have practiced as an advocate. I'm a fellow member of Company Secretaries of India. I'm a fellow company secretary. I have done my executive program in finance from IIM Kozhikode. So as I said, I was a practicing advocate. So I started my career as an advocate in High Court of Hyderabad. I practiced for a couple of years. Then I completed my CS. I was doing my CS and LLB parallelly. So once I completed my CS, I jumped into the corporate career. I worked in corporates like Surana Group, CK Birla Group. Then after completing my executive program in finance, I moved completely to finance as a CFO of Horman Group. It's a German-based group. It's a German MNC. Then finally, in 2018, I joined the Ltcr group, which is started by my very old friend, Mr. Dasri Prasad. So I joined there as a joint promoter, and currently I'm the managing director of Ltcr. In person, in terms of my financial advisory and as an investment coach, I'm a person who is registered as a research analyst with SEBI. I'm an AMFI registered mutual fund advisor, my IRDA registered insurance planner. And in the last 3 years, I've trained more than 1,000 plus MBA students, graduates, and corporate employees in personal financial planning, insurance, mutual funds, and stock markets. And in fact, since the lockdown, today is like almost my 126th webinar, which I'm addressing since the lockdown.
Wow.
So let's look into what is the changes in the budget impacting salaried class. I'm sure each one of you are salaried class only. Do you have any? कोई business कर रहा है क्या side में? Is there anyone who is also doing your business? Of course, अगर कर रहे हो तो भाई इसमें मत डालो. अगर आपका HR हो तो necessary problem आ जाओ anyway. So we would be focusing only on the salaried class. So let's see what are the top announcements that are impacting you as a person. So first thing which really uh, I liked, of course, it's not yet applicable to you, but what I liked is senior citizens aged 75 or more need not file income tax return if they have only income only from their pension or interest. That's it. If they're not generating any dividend income or any other sources, income is not there, they need not file their IT returns. So that is one thing which really fascinated me, a big relief to senior citizens. So maybe your parents or your grandfather, it's applicable to them. Second, people who lost. So there is a recognition given into the current budget, which is called the gig workers. So people like who lost their job into the pandemic and have started taking up freelancing works, they are now eligible for social benefits like EPF and ESI. The modalities are yet to be rolled out. How it is going to be applicable, how they would be done, it is yet to be rolled out. But yes, this is a welcome move. So somewhere the budget is taking the practicalities of the changed environment, work environment. Now, women are going to be allowed to work in all categories into the night shift as well. So currently, the primary industry where women are allowed to do night shift is IT. Other than IT based, most of the industries, women are not allowed to work night shift. So somewhere we are now moving to gender equality where it is a woman's choice whether to work night or not. We men are not going to decide anymore. It's a welcome call on that front. Then for the bank customers, many of you have seen that in the last 4 5 years, there's a lot of and the recent was the Yes Bank fiasco, major bank. In fact, there are a lot of cooperative bank like Maharashtra also one cooperative bank gone bust. So what is there is any bank customer, if you have got a deposit into a bank, the deposit is covered up to an insurance of 5 lakhs. So say for example, you have a deposit of 10 lakhs, if you have a deposit of 50 lakhs, there's an insurance cover of maximum 5 lakhs. Now this 5 lakhs, though this insurance is there, first, very few customers know about this insurance. The bank takes on it. So very few customers know about, and claiming insurance is also very difficult. So they are the government has announced that they are going to come up with a new policy for your work where claiming this insurance is going to be very easy. Now, what does this indicate? Does this indicate that government is getting much more customer friendly? What I read between the lines, as of now, what has happened is no matter which bank has gone bust, government has always intervened into it, and at least the deposits of the customers were preserved, are kept intact by merging this bank with another bank. But in the current change scenario, I don't think government can afford doing this for very long. So somewhere government will have to let banks fail on you. Rather than going as a savior, they will have to allow the banks fail as a. So if the bank fails and government is not coming as a savior, it is not saving the customers, then what has to be done? The customers have to fend for themselves. So they're trying to make the policy very easy so that if I'm a customer, if the bank in which I've deposited my money has gone bust, at least I can go and claim my insurance up to 5 lakhs. This is what I read. So this is my interpretation, not what Mrs. Nirmala Sitaraman has said. Okay. Now, to solve any financial investment or product related grievances, the ministry is now going to set up an investment charter. And this is primarily related because nowadays what has happened is in terms of financial investment, there has been a lot of mis-selling. There is a lot of mis-selling. People give wrong information. There are a lot of frauds that have been going on. Like recently, many things that have come across is like assuring people like post COVID, many people have started getting into stock market investment, direct investment, without knowing what stock market investing is. So there are a lot of apps that have come up. A few apps that are promising that they will be giving 30% return, 40% return. You just follow a strategy, do this, do that. A lot of things are coming up. Now, somewhere, all these things are not highly regulated. And there are a lot of grievances that are emerging. But if I have been defrauded if I have been subject to any fraud, redressing my grievance is not very easy. So government is now coming up with is planning to come up with an investment charter. Details are still not out, but yes, this is again a much more welcome move. What will happen is tomorrow, as a customer, you have taken any financial product, you are not satisfied with it, and if you feel the financial advisor has committed a fraud with you or has cheated you by giving some wrong information, I'm hopeful that this new charter would be making it much more convenient for you to go and lodge your claim, similar to your like Consumer Protection Act. Today, if you have bought any faulty good or anything, and if the seller is not going to replace or is not addressing your complaint, you can easily, it's very easy to go to a district forum and get your claim registered. In fact, you don't even need an advocate for it. You can do it on your own. And many people who have gone on there and have been successfully fought their cases. So with that history, I'm hopeful that, okay, the new charter which is going to come up, that also would be very much user friendly and where people can do on their own. Now, the next thing is gains on maturity from ULIPs are going to be taxable. This I would be taking up again in detail. Before that ULIPs, I would now highlight your thing, the major change, the major impact as a salaried employee, which is denting, is any EPF contribution. So you have been contributing PF at the rate of 12% of your basic, isn't it? Each one of you, it is mandatory. It is not your discretion. 12% of your basic gets deducted as a EPF contribution, as an employee contribution. And your employer also matches an amount. Now, whatever you are contributing, if the contribution crosses 2.5 lakhs per annum, 2.5 lakhs per annum, now it is going to be taxed. What is going to be taxed? Not the contribution, but the gain on the contribution. So any interest that is credited for an amount which is contributed post 1st April 2021. So from first, that is next year onwards, not this year. So budget is applicable for next year, not for the current year. Okay. So from next year onwards, if you are contributing, say if your salary is like basic salary is about 1 lakh, and 12% means 12,000 per month, it is getting deducted. You are well within 2.4 lakhs. But if it is say 3 lakhs is your basic salary, on 3 lakhs basic salary at 12%, it will become how much? 3.6 lakhs. 3.6 lakhs would be your annual contribution. At 3.6 lakhs, if it's an annual contribution, that becomes taxable. So people at a lower or mid salary brackets, it is not going to affect. It is primarily going to affect for people whose basic salary, I repeat, not the gross salary, the basic salary is more than 2 lakhs, because EPF is deducted on basic salary and not on the total salary. Now, when I say basic salary, if you see your basic salary, if your total salary is 1 lakh, your basic salary would be somewhere around 40,000. Overall, the current, more or less, it is somewhere between 35 to 45% of your total salary, isn't it? The basic salary would be somewhere around 35 to 45% of your total salary. Now, what is going to change from 1st April, in addition to this, is the new wage code is going to make it mandatory that the basic salary should be 50% of your total salary. So if your salary is 1 lakh, the basic will become 50,000. So somewhere your EPF contribution is now going to get increased. So your EPF contribution is going to get increased. Now, if the EPF contribution is increasing over and beyond 2.4 lakhs, any gain that you are making on this 2.4 lakhs is going to be taxable. So let me reiterate what the EPF standard is. First thing is, any EPF withdrawal after 5 or more years of continuous service is tax-free. So this tax is on withdrawal, not on investment. So when you are depositing, it is not taxable. I'm speaking about withdrawal. So when you are withdrawing, so any PF, if you are worked in a company for 5 or more years, and if you are withdrawing money after 5 years, it is completely tax-free. But however, any interest that is earned or accumulated post your end of employment, like you're moved on from one company and you are not transferred your current company PF balance to the new company account, or you have completely taken on your own, like you have become a self-employed person and you're no more in employment. So any interest or accumulated earn after that is now going to be taxable. Prior to this, it was tax-free. Like I left my job in 2018. So since 2018, I'm not in employment. I'm a self-employed. It's my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. So any PF contribution, any interest that I've earned since 2018 on my PF balance is going to be taxable. And it has to be declared every year now. It is not on withdrawal. If employees' contribution to PF on or after 1st April 2021 exceeds 2.5 lakh in a year, interest on the contribution above 2.5 lakh shall be taxable on withdrawal. So when you withdraw, now what will happen is now when your PF statement is coming, now your PF statement will have both non-taxable interest and taxable interest. That is what I expect the government to how they are going to monitor. And whatever is going to be a taxable interest, the taxable interest you will have to pay tax on whatever is your tax slab applicable. So say if you have withdrawn suddenly 20 lakhs if you have withdrawn, and on that interest, additional interest is somewhere around 1.5 to 2 lakhs. And if you are already onto a 30% tax bracket, you will have to end up paying 30% as a tax on that additional interest on withdrawal. So is the PF thing clear to you all? If you have any doubt on the PF, please tell me. I will clarify and then move to the next one. Because this is one important change which is going to affect.
The second point, Rajesh put the second point. So it is applicable for all the employees below 2.5 lakhs also?
Yes, after employment, there is no limit of 2.5 lakhs. So after your employment, if you have ended your employment, then any interest you are earning is going to be taxable.
Okay.
So if I have ended my employment, now I'm a self-employed, I'm not getting employed anywhere. What I need to do is, the best thing for me is to withdraw my PF. So government want to discourage people from over leveraging PF, because PF is one of the highly secured avenue. Now what has happened is many of the NRIs, many of the HNIs, they park a lot of money into PF because they're getting tax-free assured income on this PF deposit. So government want to somewhere discourage that.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yes, Sriram. Transferring of PF implies providing UAN to new organization and the PF from new organization credit to the same PF account. Is there any action required at individual end? As of now, post UAN, once UAN has been, see earlier what was required to be done is, you need to actually as an go submit certain forms to your employer for transfer of your previous PF balance, then it used to get credited. This is what I have done. Like whenever I change from one organization to another organization, as a prudent financial practice, I always used to transfer my old PF account to this thing. I never had two PF accounts at any point of time. This is what I've done. Now post UAN, once a new UAN has been mapped, it should emerge. So now from your end, what you need to do is, once a new UAN has been mapped with the organization, go to your PF statement, take out the PF statement and see whether that amount has been credited to the new thing or not. If it has not been credited, then you will have to approach your existing employer to take it up with the PF authorities to map it. That is the only action that is required from here. I hope it is clear, Sriram. Yeah. Then gains on maturity of ULIPs. Now, how many of you don't know what ULIP is? How many of you are hearing this term for the first time, ULIP?
Me.
Okay. See, yeah, okay, Jitin, first time. Okay. Now, ULIP is a unit-linked insurance product. Now, you know mutual funds? और सबको मालूम है म्यूचुअल फंड सही है. अभी कितना सही है वो बाद में बात करेंगे. But each of you know that mutual fund sahi hai. Now, in addition to this mutual fund, if you want to invest into equities, which you don't want to do on your own, there is another product from insurance companies. So insurance companies, what they have done is, they have brought their own mutual fund product, which is called ULIP, where you get an insurance cover of, say, if you are investing 1 lakh per year, This 1 lakh will give you an insurance cover of minimum 10 times, that is 10 lakhs insurance cover. Plus your money will get invested into stock market. So it will get invested into equities. Arshia, can you please look into participants who are unmuting? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So the insurance companies, they have come up with a product called ULIP. ULIP is unit linked insurance product. Unit means it is equity unit linked. Now the money ultimately goes into stock market. So in a very simple way, if I have to say, it is a mutual fund product managed by insurance companies, where insurance is again an additional cover. Now earlier, what used to happen is mutual funds for the last 2 years, mutual funds are taxed. Like any gain on mutual fund, any gain of more than lakh on mutual fund, capital gain is taxed at the rate of 10% for a long term. Like if you have invested for more than a year, it is taxed at 10%. If it is less than a year, it is taxed at 20%. Now, when you're investing into ULIPs, any gain that is on ULIPs was tax-free. It was completely tax-free. So ULIPs were the only tax-free investment avenue into stock market till date. Now from 2021 onwards, sorry, not 2021 onwards, it is this applicable from 1st February 2021 only, from now itself. So anyone who's investing more than 2.5 lakhs into a ULIP policy, the gain he is getting from on over and above this 2.5 lakhs is going to be taxable as a capital gain. So this is on par with mutual funds. So what can be done is, if you want to enjoy a tax-free income, you need to restrict your investment in a ULIP policy up to a maximum of 2.5 lakhs. Now, let me make it very clear for people. See, there are 3 kinds of insurance products. When you buy an insurance product from your life insurance guide, there are 3 kinds of life insurance products. It's a pure insurance product that agar, if I take a term insurance, if I die, my family is going to get the amount which is covered, the sum insured. That is a pure term insurance. Second product is endowment product. Now, endowment product is where there is a guaranteed component. It is not 100% guaranteed, but there are certain guaranteed component where somewhere your principal is protected. Now, endowment product, your money back guaranteed plans, they give you any idea how much return you get on your endowment product, like Jeevan Anand, Jeevan Saral, you must have bought. Yeah, HDFC Sanchay Plus. There are a lot of this kind of endowment products where your money that would be paid to you is either partially guaranteed or fully guaranteed. How many of you have bought such kind of product? And any idea what is the return that you get on that product? किसी ने खरीदा नहीं है, किसी को पता नहीं क्या है?
खरीदा है मैंने, लेकिन आइडिया नहीं है मुझे उसका.
ओके.
एंड इट्स बीन 11 इयर्स. जब जॉब स्टार्ट किया था तो घर वालों ने करवा दिया था ऐसे.
ओके. ये ऐसा ही होता है. मेरे पापा ने बोल दिया, दादा ने बोल दिया, इसलिए खरीद लिया. LIC सही है, LIC का खरीदा. ओके. Now someone said, I just missed the name. Someone said 5%. Yes, Shiva. It is between 5 to 6%. So the return that you get on your endowment product is 5 to 6%. So 5 to 6%. Earlier it was 7 to 8%. In a way, if I have to say, it is almost in line with inflation. Jitna inflation hota na, utna hi usko upar return hota hai, normally. So it's a product which maintains your money, not appreciates your money. So next time when you buy an insurance product, don't ask how much amount I would get on maturity. Because this is how you buy an insurance product, isn't it? You always ask how much amount I need to invest, how much amount I would be getting on maturity, isn't it? और जब वो 10 लाख, 20 लाख, 25 लाख का नंबर देते हैं, बहुत एक्साइट हो जाता दिमाग. Always ask what is the rate of return I am going to get. But if you are putting your money into bank FD, what you first ask, how much interest I would be getting, isn't it? If you are putting money into your stock market, how much you ask, मेरे को कितना return मिला? Anywhere you put your money, you always ask what is the return I am getting in terms of percentage, isn't it? always look into percentage return. But when it comes to insurance, buying an insurance product, I don't know what happens to our brains, or I don't know whether it is like mantra tantra of that so-called insurance advisor, that people always look at the absolute amount. मैंने 10 लाख लगाया, 10 का 25 लाख हुआ. अभी 10 का 25 लाख अगर 25 साल में हुआ है, तो ये 10 का 25 लाख कितने परसेंटेज पे ग्रो हुआ है? If it is growing at the rate of 5.5 to 6%, you take a call if you are happy with that 6%. कि भाई मेरा money grow नहीं हो रहा, because if it is at 6%, your money is not growing. Your money grows if it is the return is more than inflation. I hope that is clear. या वो भी पता नहीं. I hope you are very clear that your money grows only if your return is more than inflation. Like if you are 100 rupees today, and if inflation is 5%, my 105 next year equal to 100 rupees today. So this 105 is only maintaining my money. It is not increasing my money. मैं उसी level पे हूँ. It is like a running on a treadmill. On a treadmill, if you have to run, if you have to stay at the same place, अगर उसी जगह पे रहना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा आपको? तो treadmill जिस स्पीड से भाग रहा है उस स्पीड पे आपको भागना पड़ेगा, isn't it? So same way, if you have to maintain your money, you need to earn return at the rate of inflation. कि 5% inflation है तो 5%, 7% है तो 7%. This is how it is. But if you need to grow, what you need to do? You need to get return more than inflation. So this is what you need to do. Now, third category is ULIPs. ULIPs is where there is no guaranteed component. उसमें कुछ guarantee नहीं होता. Guaranteed component नहीं रहता because the money is invested into equities. Stock market में invest होता है. And since the money is invested into equities, stock market में invest होता है, there is an inherent risk. And obviously, since the risk is higher, the returns also would be higher. Overall, if you see on and general, if you see all the ULIPs performance in the last 10 to 15 years, the basic return which ULIPs have generated is somewhere 10 to 12%. 10% on the lower side, 12%, 12 to 13% on the higher side. Now, this 12 to 13%, which is being generated, is tax-free. And the same if my mutual fund is giving me 14% return, and if my ULIP has given 12.5% return, it is one and the same, because my mutual fund is giving me 14% minus 10% capital gain, it becomes 12.5%. So 12.5% ULIP. So since there was a disparity, now this provision has been brought where it becomes on par. So now your ULIP and your mutual fund investments both are going to be on par. So it is your choice whether you are going to go for a ULIP policy or you are just going to buy a term insurance. कि भाई मेरे insurance के लिए मैंने term insurance ले लिया और मेरे investments के लिए मैंने mutual fund में invest कर दिया. If you are happy with that, that is your choice. Okay. So let me just reiterate what the things are. So the tax exemption which was there on ULIP, which is an equity linked insurance product, is going to be applicable from 1st February. So आज से जो खरीद रहे हैं उसके लिए applicable है. And it is applicable on an annual premium payout of more than 2.5 lakhs. That is any new policy that you are taking. If you are taking a new policy of less than 2.5 lakhs per annum, it is going to be tax free. Over and above 2.5 lakhs per annum, it is going to be tax free. So what has changed? First thing is tax free benefit has limited up to 2.5 lakhs per annum. Investment beyond 2.5 lakhs will going to be on par with equity mutual fund in terms of taxation. Now, what is the taxation that is going to be? That is going to be 10%. So 10% is not going to be on your withdrawal amount, but 10% is going to be on the income that you have gained over and above 2.5 lakhs. Now, tax reduction, there would be a tax reduction of 5% of the net income. That is fund value minus premiums. 5% on the payouts is going to be, and also the securities transaction tax will be applicable. Any death claim, only thing is any death claim that in case of ULIP policy, if there is any death, like not on maturity but death, then what happens is that claim is completely tax free under section 1010. Under section 1010 of the Income Tax Act, any claim that is paid, because on death what will happen is if you are investing there 2.5 lakhs, so you would have a cover of 25 lakhs. So 25 lakhs plus your fund value. At few policies, 25 lakhs are the fund value, whichever is the higher. So say your fund value is 40 lakhs, your insurance is 25 lakhs. So you get 40 lakhs now. So 40 lakhs will become taxed. It is not going to be taxed in the hands of the nominee. So what can be done here? So people who want to still avail this tax-free income, because मैं अभी इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ और मेरे रिटायरमेंट के बाद आई नीड टू गेट अ टैक्स फ्री इनकम. सो हाउ कैन आई अवेल दिस? What you can do is 2.5 lakhs का tax limit is available. So if you say your spouse, you have got 2 kids, what you can do is every year invest 2.5 lakhs each, spread it instead of you investing 10 lakhs, you will be investing 2.5 lakhs in your name, 2.5 lakhs in your spouse name, 2.5 lakhs in your kids name, and that is how you are going to do. Of course, kids are going to need to be adults. They need to have their own PAN, else you would be the proposer. So if you have elder kids, if they have their own PAN, you can invest in their names also. So got it? Is ULIPs clear? Can we move on to the next thing?
Rajesh, I just want to ask about the previous point, PF one. So suppose like I'm having a PF account and I'm also having the UN. So each and every, like in previous organization, I was having one PF account in which the amount was credited, and in new office I just joined and I got a new PF account which is linked to the UN. So in that UN, I'm having 2 PF accounts. So should I merge that, or because right now it is showing 2 PF accounts?
It is showing 2 PF accounts.
Yes.
Then you will have to merge it, like transfer from your previous account, apply for transfer of your PF amount to the new thing.
Okay.
And
Thank
that has to be done through your HR. So ask your HR the process. There are certain forms that need to be filled.
Okay.
Now I think even that forms are also have come online. Now everything is online.
Yes, yes.
Previously, when I did, I had to submit the physical forms. Okay. But
Yeah,
now I
that's
think everything has come online. So please check with your HR, asking them how I can transfer my old PF account amount to the new PF account.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
And we need to wait for certain more clarity. Even I think your HR also will not be very clear about the taxation, that once it is transferred, whether it is now being allowed to transfer or not. Is there any tweaking that is happening? Because still now the rules are not out.
Okay.
Okay. So just check with your HR if they have a clarity. If not, maybe I will try to get some clarity by the next sessions. Anyway, if you are part of your financial hi-fi club,
Yes,
then I
yes.
would surely, if you're part of the financial hi-fi club, I will just get some more clarity from my own HR counterparts that whether they have got any guidelines from PF department or not, and I will surely post on this. Okay, so I will surely come back to you on this the moment there is some clarity that is emerging.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Acha, Brahmaji, Brahmaji, there is a financial hi-fi club which is managed by Ethica Work Life. So it's a WhatsApp club where I'm available there to answer any of your personal financial questions. I'm part of this club, moderating that club. So any doubts on the personal financial part, aspect, I try to clarify. So at the end of the session, we will be sharing the link where you can join the WhatsApp club. Yeah.
Hi Rajesh, if I have one PF account and in which 3 member ID is there, okay? So it will no issue, no affected on there.
3
Can
member
I?
ID? I'm not able to understand. One PF account with 3 IDs is not possible. One UN account with 3 PF accounts.
One UN.
So that is what. So that is what I just said. I would be. I need to say practical aspect of this, how it has to be done. Still, it is not very clear. Even yesterday, I spoke with one of my HR friends. They have not got any guidelines from the PF department. So the moment they get some clarity from the PF department that how this is going to be handled, okay, I will surely clarify further on this aspect, that what action you need to do in terms of your multiple PF accounts.
No, not have the multiple, but one have the one UN number, and inside in which the one UN number have 3 member ID, because I have changes the 3 organizations, they have the different member IDs. I got it. So can I merge the 3 in the one? Is it possible? Yeah, it's not worry about that. It's okay.
This is what. So what used to happen is earlier we used to transfer the PF amount from one account to the another account. So from one account to another account is transferred. The previous account used to get closed and only used to continue with the only single account. Okay. So that is what it is. So I would surely try to get a clarity, because if your amount is still lying with your previous employer and now your new employer is getting credited, barely reading from the current provisions, whatever interest you are getting from the previous account will become taxable now.
Okay.
Okay.
So
With a
what
plain
do I have
reading
to
of
do?
the provision. So
So
that
what
is
should
what.
have?
So as of now, there is not much clarity on this aspect. We need to wait
Okay.
for another, because but till see thing is this will get clear only by 31st March. By 31st March, the government will come up, because this is still a proposal. See how budget happens is, now government has put a proposal. They have put a proposal. This is what we are doing. There is a debate that is going to happen, and then finally this is going to be passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and then it will get notified. Now before that notified, there are certain clarities or certain rules that they would be forming, that how practically they are going to implement this.
Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
only then we will get a clarity.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'm sure by 31st March we'll be getting a lot of clarity. So by end of March, so the next month, whenever I will be doing my webinar, I would surely try to cover this if we get a clarity in that. Else in April month, I would surely come up with a clarity on PF aspect, specifically on the PF aspect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So then one more thing which is extended is a home loan, because there is an affordable housing loan which was earlier announced last budget, which has been extended this year also, where if you are taking a new affordable housing loan up to 45 lakhs. So say currently you don't have any housing loan, you want to go and buy a house. So if you're buying a house which is less than 45 lakhs value, so that is a category called affordable housing. If you're buying a house of less than 45 lakhs, and if you're taking that loan before 31st March 2022, you would be getting an additional deduction of 1.5 lakhs over and above the 2 lakh interest. So currently the interest amount which can be taken deduction on housing loan is only 2 lakhs. This will get increased by another 1.5 lakhs. So people who are planning to take any housing loan, if the housing loan, the home value is less than 45 lakhs, this is what an additional eligibility is going to. But if the housing loan, because less than 45 lakhs, there are very few houses available. If you are taking, and this is for people who are going for to that category of affordable. Like yesterday, I was talking to one of
Rajesh, sorry. Also, I think this is for the first house, right?
Yeah, this is for the first house.
Yeah, or for the first house, whoever is taking the first house, that this clause applies.
That is what I said. So people who have not taken any home loan till now, that is what I said. And if you are buying any new house which is less than 45 lakhs, and if the loan is taken before 31st March, this additional deduction is available to you. It was available in the previous year, and it is now extended even up to 31st March 2022. That is, the next year is also continued. So current year be here, next year is also it is continued.
Thank you.
Okay. And even a loan that is taken from an employer, but if your employer is giving a loan, or if you are taking from any friend or even private lender, even that will also get eligible for reduction now for home loan. Only thing is only interest, not principal, because if you're taking from any bank or NBFC, then your principal is also deductible under ATC. But if you're taking from an employer or a friend or any private lender, what you need to do is you only can claim a tax deduction on interest. What you need to get is get a certificate from them that they have lent you so and so money as a loan on so much interest. This is what the interest is paid. Now, yes, can you just create a document? No, you need to, again, it has to be again in digital mode. So any money that is credited from that person account to you, and if you are paying any EMIs, anything has to be in digital mode. You cannot just create a document and go and claim. There has to be even transactional proof, that is, all the transactions that happen should happen in a digital mode. Now, people who are not aware of, since we are talking about home loan, I thought of giving few more additional, that if you are going and buying a house which is still not completed, so it is still under construction. So under construction, what happens is you cannot claim deduction for the interest that is paid. But what you can do is, once you receive an occupancy certificate, you start occupying that property, you get the handover of that property, whatever interest that has been paid prior to the occupation can be claimed as a reduction in 5 annual installments. 5 installments, that is 5 annual installments. That is for the next 5 years. So say, for example, I have bought a house which is under construction. So I have paid my loan and interest on that loan for 2 years. for 2 years and I've totally paid an interest of about say 6 lakhs. For the 6 lakhs, I can claim as a deduction in next 5 equal installments of 1.2 lakh each. And this is again restricted with the overall ceiling. One suggestion always for the new home loan buyer takers. If you are taking a new home loan, like if you are taking a home loan, always take a joint home loan. Take a home loan. If you both you and your spouse both are earning people, take a joint home loan so that you can claim, both of you can claim the deduction on the interest. If you are going for a like 1 crore home loan where interest you are paying, annual interest is about 8 to 10 lakhs or 6 to 7 lakhs, and if both you and your spouse are jointly taking this loan, you can claim up to 2 lakhs, she can also claim up to 2 lakhs. And people who are taken second, like people who have taken 2 homes, no notional rent will be added if the second home is also self-occupied or it has not been lent out. If you are not given it on rent, or maybe you have got 2 homes, one your parents are staying, one you are staying, there will be no notional rent that is going to be added. This is restricted only up to 2 homes. If you go for a third home, whether it is occupied or not, still a notional rent is going to get added to your income. Be very clear about it. Now, how many of you claim LTA? Your leave travel allowance? How many of you claim LTA? Is anyone who claims LTA, or does your organization permit you to claim LTA? Okay. Now, leave travel allowance has to be claimed in every block of 4 years, isn't it? You can claim for 2 years in any block of 4 years. I hope you know it. Now, whatever is a permissible limit, now say the current block, if you want to claim in the current year, now current year because of COVID, you cannot travel, or you are not supposed to travel. I would say you are not supposed to travel, isn't it? You are not supposed to travel with your family. And LTA is always claimed on travel, either air travel or train travel. Only travel expenses are allowed under LTA. Now, there is a new provision that has been created because this year government don't want you to travel, but still want to don't lose claim this LTA. What they have come up is they have come up with an LTC cash voucher scheme, where you can go and purchase goods or services if you are not able to travel during this pandemic. So these goods and services which you purchase, what they should be? They should be purchased between 12th October 2020 and 31st March 2021. And say if your LTA is say 30,000, you need to purchase goods of 3 times, it is 90,000. So 90,000 का goods आपको खरीदना पड़ेगा, goods and services. And which kind of goods and services? Goods and services where you are paying GST of 12% or more. So say if you go to DMart and if you buy goods, your home goods where your GST you are paying is 5%, you cannot claim on it. So any goods and services where you are paying GST of more than 12%, you can claim LTC against it. That is, even if you are like going and buying an insurance policy, if you're going and buying an insurance policy where the insurance, the GST that you're paying is more than 12%, because insurance policy, few policies, the GST is 5%, few it is 4.5%. So that is how. So term insurance, so if you're buying term insurance, so term insurance would be 18%. So if you're buying term insurance, you can go and claim this under LTC. And any payment that is done for this, for you to claim, it has to be done through digital mode. Cannot make payment in cash. It has to be done through digital mode. And second, the GST invoice should be taken in your name. If like Rajesh Jain, I want to claim my LTA exemption. I have got an LTA limit of say 1 lakh. Now for 1 lakh, what I need to do? I need to go and purchase before 31st March, 3 lakhs worth of goods. Which kind of goods? Goods or service, which is taxable under GST at the rate of 12% or more. 12% or 18%, 12% or more. And third, what I need to do? I need to produce a GST invoice. I need to take the GST invoice in my name. In my name, I need to take the GST invoice and submit it to my employer. Submit it to my employer for claiming that LTA benefit. Now, you may ask me, Rajesh, if it is 1 lakh, I need to go and mandatorily claim it under 3 lakhs. Can insurance be claimed both under LTC or under ATD? No, it cannot be claimed both. You cannot claim both. If you're, see, ATD is for health insurance. Okay, Dheeraj? ATD is for health insurance. ATC is for life insurance. First thing. So ATD, if you're claiming, you cannot claim for both. You have to either claim under ATD, but if your ATD limit is already exhausted, if you're taking some insurance over and above that, the ETC, you can claim your tuition fees. So if your kid's tuition fee, you are already exhausted, or you are paying some insurance for more than 1 lakh, and now you're going for more than new, if you're purchasing a new thing, new product, investing by 1 lakh, that can be claimed. Now, what point I was addressing was, so if my LTA is 1 lakh, I need to buy 3 lakhs worth of goods. Now, what if I buy only 2 lakh worth of goods? Can I still claim my LTA? Yes, you can still claim your LTA. Only thing is pro rata. That is, you will be able to claim up to 2/3. That is up to 66,000. Is it clear? Now, for this, let me be very clear. This is for your information. Now, practically, how your organization is going to implement, you need to reach out on your own to your HR. So please reach out to your HR. Ask them, boss, this LTC cash voucher scheme is there. Please let us know how can we avail. What are the things that you are required? What are the things? Because organization, for their own convenience, for their administration, they may come out with some specific process. So please reach out to your HR before you go and purchase any goods for this LTC cash voucher scheme. Am I clear? Can we move to the next? Yeah. Now the next thing, which I'm not sure how many people are going to be happy, but personally I feel it's a very step in a very right direction. Pre-filled tax return. Already from this year, government has started pre-filled tax returns, but pre-filled tax returns used to be only with your salary details and bank account details. That's it. So if once your employer has uploaded it, the form 16, automatically the form 16 details gets captured in your tax return currently. In addition to your salary, income, and bank account details, now what additional thing that are going to be covered? That is, so earlier only these 3 details used to get covered: salary, income, bank accounts, and tax payments and TDS. Now from the next year onwards, capital gains. So if you are investing into mutual funds, if you are investing into stocks, any capital gains is going to get pre-filled. Your dividend income is going to get pre-filled. Interest from banks and post office savings are going to get pre-filled. So all these things government has announced are going to get pre-filled in addition to some other details which they are trying to know. So wherever you are given your PAN, boss, simple बोल रहा हूँ, जहाँ पर भी आपका PAN दिया हुआ है, and if you are doing any financial transaction, now everything is going to get collated and put under one umbrella, and it is getting pre-filled. The government will say, as per my information, this is what it is. If you want to refuse or deny it, please come with your own proof. Each and every income of yours is going to get tracked now. And late return or revised return. If you remember earlier, like 31st March 2020, 2021, people could go and file a late return up to March 2022, up till next 1 year. Not within the June. June is the deadline. After June, up to 1 year, up to next March, it used to get allowed. Now instead of March, it has become December. So for like March 2021, the last date for your late return or revised return. So you have to file your return by June. If you missed by June, if you are going to be filing late, it has to be filed by December. Post December, IT authorities are not going to take up your IT return. If you have already filed a return, but there is some defect in your return, if you want to revise that return, you will have to do it by December. You cannot wait till March. Okay, am I clear? So कोई भी अगर लेट लतीफ है, हैदराबादी नवाब है, जो हमेशा लास्ट डेट पे फाइल करता है, वो भी क्या लास्ट डेट विद पेनल्टी फाइल करता है. प्लीज बॉस जाग जाओ. फर्स्ट स्टार्ट फाइलिंग योर रिटर्न इन टाइम. सो अगर जून है, if you get your form 16 in April or May, nowadays organizations have become very dynamic. They have started giving it by April or May itself. So if you are getting by May, Make it an habit. The moment you get your Form 16, no, keep a deadline for yourself that within a week or maximum 2 weeks, you're going to go and file your return. Don't wait till the last moment. Okay, so अगर कोई लेट लतीफ है हैदराबादी नवाब है हाथ जोड़ के बोलता हूँ जाग जाओ. Please don't keep it pending to your last date. And with this pre-filled tax return, please learn how to file your ITR return. If you are only a salaried employee, ITR 1 फाइल करना है. आपको और कोई सोर्स ऑफ इनकम नहीं है, जैसे मतलब आपको कोई रियल एस्टेट का नहीं है, ये कुछ नहीं है. अगर कुछ नहीं है, अगर वो सब नहीं है, please go and file your ITR 1. You can easily do it on your own. एक बार सीख लो, ऑनलाइन बहुत मिल जाएगा. या next time before the IT return filing, I may come up with a training how to file your IT return on your own, and learn to file the IT return and start filing your own IT return for ITR 1. So I would just sum up before we close up. I would just sum up. There was a session which I took before about 2 months back on understanding your entire payslip. So I would just try to reiterate. Okay, in 5 minutes. I would just close it up 5 minutes. I will not. This is something which was covered in session 2 months back. So what are your components of your payslip? Just understand what are your components in your payslip. So your components on your payslip are basically your basic salary, your allowance basket, and your deductions. So your basic salary plus allowance minus your deduction would be your net pay. Isn't it very clear? Now basic salary from April 2021 onwards, what will happen is it will become minimum 50% of your total income. So as of now, it was 35 to 45%. Now it will become 50%. So अगर 2 lakh का salary है, तो 1 lakh will be your basic salary, 1 lakh will be your allowance basket, 2 lakhs, and from this 2 lakhs minus your PF, minus your professional tax, minus your TDS, then net salary will what you get. Okay, this is how your salary is going to be. Now in allowances also, there are 2 kinds of allowances: exempted allowance, taxable allowance. Like HRA, house rent allowance, is an exempted allowance. Okay, kids tuition fee up to 1200 per child, 2400 per annum is an exempted allowance. Okay, standard deduction is another deduction, but it is not a. Now taxable allowance, anything. Now in exempted allowances, there is one more thing: people who are working from home. So new budget, what is people who are working from home full time? There are like completely work from home, and if company is providing any reimbursement of like telephone bill or internet bill, all those sort, then it is now under exempted. So it is not going to be taxable. It is going to be an exempted allowance. So this is a new thing which has come up for people who are working from home, because working from home is going to be a new norm. All IT companies have said that even after the COVID also, 30-35% of their workforce will still continue to work from home. Isn't it? So this is going to be new now. Yeah. And then deductions. So your deductions are going to be PF, professional tax, and income tax. This is what it is there. Now in terms of savings, where you can save. So your house rent allowance. So house rent allowance is going to be your actual HRA 50%. I'm not going to take it much on this because of the time. But leave travel allowance, I've already told you that leave travel allowance this year up to 31st March, go and buy some goods and services of 12% or more GST and claim your LTA for the current year. That is a better thing. So that you can go and claim your entire thing. So कुछ भी खरीदना हो, पहले से वाइफ को बोल दो कि शॉपिंग लिस्ट बना के रखे, एक साथ कोई बड़ा आइटम खरीदेंगे. हाँ, लेकिन LTA क्लेम करने के लिए फालतू में खर्चा मत करो, बस ले बोलता हूँ. Standard deduction, flash 54,000 is a standard deduction which is available. And then ATC, ATCC, your pension products, ATCCD, your central government, all put together, there is a limit of 1.5 lakhs. So your PF, your EPF, your FD, your ELS schemes, your term insurance, or even your kids insurance, kids tuition fee, everything is covered under ATC. There is an overall limit of 1.5 lakhs. So your 1.5 lakhs, normally most of the people get exhausted. Now, I suggest is, if you're not exhausted, if you don't have any other investments, if you're still looking for some ATC investment, go take a term insurance, balance whatever is the limit, go and invest in your ELSS fund. That is equity linked savings scheme mutual funds, where your investment would be locked for 3 years and you can claim your ATC. Over and above this, there is an ATCCD, that is NPS. So people who are under 20 and 30% tax bracket, This is a very recommendation कि बॉस 50,000 साल का इसमें अलग से डाल दो. Straight away you are getting 20 to 30% your savings. हर साल इसमें 50,000 डाल दो. NPS account. Now NPS account as can be opened online. Anyone want to know how NPS account need to be opened? If you need any support from me, you can reach out to me on my personal window. I will surely guide on you how to open the NPS account also. But people who are under 20 to 30% tax bracket, and if you have not opened an NPS account, I would recommend please go and open an NPS account. अगर 50,000 नहीं डाल सकते तो 10-20,000 जितना भी डाल सकते हो डालें. There is no mandatory this year if you have invested 50,000, next year also you have to invest 50,000. No, the only mandatory thing is 1,000 per year to keep that account active. That's it, not more than that. And then your ATD is for medical insurance. Deduction allowed is up to for your family, for your parents, all put together 1 lakh तक का limit हो जाता है. But for self it is 25,000. For dependents it is 50,000. If they are more than 60 years of age, then it becomes up to 75,000. So overall deduction becomes 1 lakh. But self खुद के लिए या खुद के family के लिए कर रहे हैं तो only 25,000 is the limit. Okay. Other deductions you can ignore. ATE section 24 is for your housing loan. VPF is also under ATC only. Dheeraj. Your voluntary provident fund also ATC only, and VPF also. EPF and VPF both together 2.5 lakhs. Then there are some other donations and all which you can do. Old versus new tax regime. If someone is still not very clear कि old regime में रहना, नया regime में रहना है, simple फंडा है. बॉस अगर आपका already existing investments हैं, आप ATC claim कर रहे हो, home loan ले रहे हो, सब कुछ कर रहे हो, stay with your old regime. Don't get into the new tax regime. First thing. People who have not been doing investments, I would recommend investments करो. Old regime में exemptions लो, stay into that. New tax regime, there is not much lucrative. Not much फायदा कुछ नहीं है. I would still recommend you to go stick with the old regime only. हाँ, अगर कोई और डाउट्स है तो बाद में अपन देखेंगे इसको. Yeah. So how can I support personally is, as I told you, I'm a financial planner and investment coach. So any financial planning you require, you want to understand how to go for your financial goals, how to understand them, how to invest for your child and all, you can always reach out to me through your financial hi-fi club. You can always reach out to me. These are the few glimpses of the training programs which I have done. So I normally do a lot of programs on personal financial planning and also equity investment. So I train people into fundamental analysis. I'm a fundamental analyst per se. I don't do trading. खुद investment करता हूँ और लोगों को investment के लिए प्रेरणा देता हूँ. So this is my colleague Vamshi, who is a technical analyst. So ये trading के लिए train करता है. I train only on fundamental analysis. These are students of St. Anne's Mallapur Women's College. This was session taken in MSME. Certain corporates. So there is a link posted in the chat window, Financial Hi-Fi Club. I request each one of you to please join this club. So any is it a good idea to choose LIC policy? Dheeraj, per se I would say कि it depends on how close you are to maturity. So if you have been paying for more than 10 years and if your maturity is next 4 or 5 years, I would prefer you 20 years. Okay. So 20 years, what you can do is you can go and because if it is more than 10 years, your surrender value would be only about, I think, 70 to 80%. So please take the surrender value, check what is the surrender value and what is your future investments. So the best way is, it's a slightly complex calculation, but Dheeraj, I would just tell you, try to follow it. Else you can reach out to me on my personal thing later. However, you need to calculate is take out your surrender value. Try to reach out to your LIC agent, take out the surrender value. What is the surrender value which I would be getting? One thing. Add all the future investments that you would be doing in next years and take a return of about 10%. Don't take more than 10%. Take a return of 10% on your MF investments and see if this total return is coming to more than the maturity value which your LIC agent is telling. So if it is more than your maturity value, you will be better off. And take only 10% return. Don't take more than 10% return. Yes, of course, you will be surely getting about 12 to 13% return in your MF investments, but for calculation purpose, be conservative, take only 10% return. Okay. How you need to do, you can reach out to me on my personal window. I will try to guide you how it can be done. Okay. So you can post your feedbacks, your reviews about today's session on Ethica Work Life Facebook page. And I keep posting a lot of posts on financial related stuff every day, almost on my LinkedIn page, on my Instagram page. You can even follow me on my LinkedIn, Insta, or my FB account. I would request you all to please join this Hi-Fi Club. The link has been posted. So please join this WhatsApp group. And also provide the review for today's session on the Facebook page of Ethica Work Life.
Rajesh, last small query. You were talking
Yeah.
on the new resume and the old resume.
Hmm.
Is it that you are asking to stick to the old resume?
Yes.
Does it go to all these labs, or I personally feel out of my analysis above 15 lakhs gross salary, I think the new resume is working for them, cutting down around 10 to 15,000 of tax.
Yes, boss, but people who are, yes, what you said is right, that people who are claiming more than 15 lakhs, okay, more than 15 lakhs, it works slightly in favor to them if you are not having any home loans and all those stuff.
Correct.
Okay, but if you take up home loans, if you take up, because obviously people who are earning more than 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, they would be surely having some home loan. If you go for your NPS contribution, if I take all those stuff, this limit extends to 25 lakhs.
Okay. Okay.
And that
so once we step into the new resume, there is no chance of coming back to old resume.
No,
Yeah.
it cannot.
Correct, right?
It's a one way.
Okay.
It's a one way. It's a one way. So as you rightly said, if it is getting more than 20 lakhs, then you can start moving to the new region.
Switch to. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Only then you can step into that one-way traffic, because it's a one-way. Once you opt to the new, you cannot come back to the old one.
Yes, it's understood.
Yeah.
Thanks. Phil.
Yeah. So any doubts, any feedback, any reviews you want to give directly here, you're open.
Rajesh, one query.
Yeah.
Yeah, suppose this year my PF amount is going to be more than 2.5 lakhs, and so it will be taxable for all the previous amount also, for all the
no
last years.
It is for the next year contribution, because this changes from the next year, not from this year contribution. So this change is only from the next year. So next year, if you are contributing more than 2.5 lakhs, only to that extent, your taxes, interest is going to be charged, not for your previous.
Okay.
It is not a retrospective tax, it is a prospective tax. So anything that you are doing from April onwards, 1st April onwards, only tax is going to be on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any queries? Any questions?
Hi Rajesh, I'm Ramakrishna here.
Yeah, Ramakrishna. Hi.
Hi. So like, I have a question related to the home loan. So like previously, within like last 4 years, actually I have a home at last 8 years. Just I have sold that before 4 years, and just I'm going for the new home. Okay. So the value is like 40 lakhs for the home. I'm purchasing for the 40 lakhs, and I'm taking the loan for 45 lakhs. Yeah, so in that case, like you have mentioned, like 1.5 will be the tax exemption more than like 2 lakhs.
Additional.
Yeah. So am I eligible for that, or else no?
Yeah, you can. You would be, because you don't have any other home in your name.
Yes. This will be the second, but in terms of it will be the first. Like I have purchased and I have sold out the previous one. So this will be they'll be considered.
So this will be the only home in your name. So you can go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Go for that additional.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajesh.
the ITRs. That would be welcome.
It would be too early.
No, I mean to say the March, April. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I would be planning sometime in May.
But your session is awesome today.
Thank you.
Actually, every year I go through the budget session. This time I couldn't, but crisply you have covered everything with respect to the employees regarding.
Thank you.
It was great. It was great. So you covered everything in a nice time.
Yeah.
Which is appreciable.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Rajesh. It was very informative.
Thanks, Sriram. Yeah.
Thanks, Rajesh, and thanks, Ethica Work Life, for conducting the session. Yeah.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.